We're really getting into the color grading process. I think it'd be helpful to talk about what is the color grading process. Okay, so the color grading process I've broken down into essentially just 3 steps. Okay, so the first step is going to be correct, and in this step you're just going to do basic corrections to your footage. The next step would be grade, and that's when you actually stylize your footage. And then finally is polish, where in context of the corrections and the grades that you did together, you bring it all together in one cohesive look, right? So the polish step is where you do those final details. So let's take a look at each of those one by one. In the correction stage, you're going to start off with some footage that's usually going to be pretty flat, pretty desaturated. And if you look at your scopes, you're going to see it doesn't take up very much of the entire availability of the data that the footage can take, right? And so in correction, what you want to do is you want to fill that space out. You're going to expand the waveform so it reaches the top, so it reaches the bottom. You'll see there's more saturation there, and that's the big part of what correction is about. It's just bringing the footage back to life, giving it to its full potential. So that's what the first thing you do inside the correction stage is stretch out the waveform, get some more of that color data here, and saturate your image. And then you'll also do localized exposure adjustments. So you'll see, you'll find certain areas that seem like these are areas of emphasis, and you can add some more exposure to those points, as well as different parts around the rest of the image. So you might do some relighting, but it's just basically correcting the exposure of the image. Okay, so that's the first step that you're going to do. From there, you move on to the grade, and the grade is where you stylize your footage. You'll add some color into it, and you'll also do that in a localized way as well. So correction is about getting the most out of the exposure and doing localized exposure adjustments, and then grade is doing getting the best out of the color as well as doing localized color adjustments. And so then finally, after you've done both of those, you're going to want to polish that up with those final details. And so that's what the polish stage is about, is all the different extra things you can add on top of it to really make it shine, right? So if you step back through this, that there's a lot of little passes, of little tiny details that are going on inside this clip. So this is something I graded, and I'm going to go over in a case study later on in the course, and you can check out what all those little details are that really help pull the whole shot together. That's what the polish step is all about. So it's correct, it's grade, and it's polish. And those are the general steps that you'll work through as you color grade your shot.